Hey ho, ladies and gentlemen, I have decided that right now it is the time to make one of my dreams come true. Today I want to present you a video review of the game that I have completed not so long ago. It is called Metro Exodus, and it is a project that tells us a story of the post-apocalyptic world, of the Russian Federation in particular. The lore is taken from the anthology of books Metro 2033, 2034 and 2035 by Dmitry Glukhovsky. In the case of Exodus, we have been shown a world that has demonstrated Russian lands with much love and respect. Metro Exodus is a AAA shooter created by 4A Games. Humanity, well, at least a small part of it, has survived through a full-fledged nuclear war, and now is trying to live in the world that doesn't welcome human beings anymore. Lore of the game. If we are speaking about the lore of the game, the basis of it lies in the fact that the Earth's surface is scorched. The Last of Us dwell under the cold ground in the Moscow metro. Moreover, it is the last world for the humanity. Well, this is what the people in this universe are told at least. However, the third game becomes the revelation not only for the Metro citizens but also for the players themselves. The world is alive. The entire Russia, and likely not only Russia, has different places where people live. They are separated, sometimes tribal and savage, but still, these are people. Put on your gas mask, take your filters and aid kits. Don't you also forget to take some ammo. We have a long trip ahead of us, folks. The problematics of the story. The problematics is concentrated around the government's conspiracy which prescribed Moscow Metro to stay radio silent. It works both ways. Moscow citizens can neither hear nor be heard by the rest of the world. It is done so to prevent the enemy, in the lore of the game, the US, from firing a couple of nuclear bombs at this land. This is why the Metro dwellers consider themselves the only survivors on Earth. Everyone but the protagonist. Artyom, and that is the name of the main character, goes outside to hear any message from other people in his radio set. The answer why exactly he believes in the existence of other living beings lies in the endings of previous games and books. The protagonist and his wife, Anna, find survivors from the outer world. However, you won't have much time to hear any stories from them, because the soldiers who captured the characters shoot Artyom and kill the mom and son he has just met, pushing them all in the pit so no one could ever find them. That ranch had lots of corpses of such tourists who came to Moscow in search of a better life, and Artyom, who managed to survive, thanks to his tech, starts to find his way out from that terrible place. Soon after that, he, Anna, and their new friend Yermak take over the locomotive Aurora, where they find the former Artyom squad, Sparta. United, they became renegades and traitors for the entire Metro. There is no going back for them, only a new old world awaiting the group of brave people. No ceilings, no stale air, no infinite darkness of the tunnels, and a very big mission. However, you won't have much time to hear any stories from them, because the soldiers who captured the characters shoot Artyom and kill the mom and son he has just met, pushing them all in the pit so no one could ever find them. That ranch had lots of corpses of such tourists who came to Moscow in search of a better life, and Artyom, who managed to survive, thanks to his tech. The characters of the story. Before I continue, I will emphasize the main idea of this paragraph. The characters are living beings. They are very natural in their virtual existence. Listening to them during the missions or while traveling in between locations bring relief, joy and comfort. Yes, their stories may take longer than you can expect. For example, the friendly talk in a vestibule after the first mission will require you to stay with a new friend for a few minutes, listening to the story of his post-war life. While walking in the train, people will call you out for a small chat or will initiate the conversations with each other themselves. You will be smoking and watching another Russian village hide behind the horizon. During the talk, you are able to perform different activities, such as smoking, drinking alcohol or tea, playing the guitar, etc. You will experience anxiety, but it will be caused not by these discussions exactly, in most cases they are very interesting, but by the fact that you'll want to jump into the next location, see the new landscapes and uncover the next chapter of the Spartans story. To add a fact about how pleasant it was to stay in the company of these people, I have skipped only 4 or 5 dialogues in the entire game. By the way, they will tell you what they think about the latest missions you've been on, cheer you up and tell some jokes or ask for personal favors. The best thing about it that you will feel yourself at home, eager to hear what they say. As for me, this feeling of coziness and brotherhood appeared during the night talk on Volga, which is almost at the beginning of the game. Wonderful life. Almost all of the things that happen in the game occur outside Metro, not the most obvious part considering the name of the project. On the contrary, we go up from the dark and moldy underground to see the remnants of the cities people lived in, and sometimes still live in. Moreover, the main location of the game is a locomotive Aurora that we steal from Ganza, the most powerful faction in Metro. The first minutes of the game show us the view of Moscow, which are dead and ice-cold landscapes with carcasses of buildings and cars all around the place. The only life forms present above the ground won't definitely say hi to you upon being encountered. Whether they roam or fly, yes, there are flying ones, eesh, they won't guide you to the destination. After a small excursion in Moscow, we are getting back to Metro, our sweet home. But only to go into the biggest trip in the lives of the main characters. It will cover the most distant parts of Russia and show you the diversity of this country. In order to find the new alma mater, you will visit Moscow, Volga, Kaspi, Yamantau, Taiga, Novosibirsk, and one more location you will find out about yourself. I don't want to make any spoilers here, guys, you know. Battle missions. As a person who takes quests seriously, for all intents and purposes, I can tell that although the missions in Metro are based on the primitive concepts, go and bring, kill and get back and so on, every mission has some constructive background behind it. It has nothing to do with bring 10 red skulls for us because we just need 10 skulls. No! The requests are understandable and based on the emotional or physical conditions of people. For example, while on Volga, our comrade asks us to go to the bandit camp and take the guitar from them as he hears them dismantling such a tender musical instrument and singing terrible songs. Our small crew would definitely need the guitar, so to find some calmness in the already forgotten world outside Metro. Good music, in addition to campfire, will allow the wanderers to feel safety in the vast, ceilingless environment. Not for a long time though. Beauty as it is. When it comes to graphics, the game is just fantastic. Object detalization is very high even for the mid-budget hardware. The kilograms of dust and kilometers of web in the very first level will show you the post-apocalyptic life of the underground. From the very first glimpse, the thought will appear in your head. Yikes, do I really need to remove my gas mask? The location I got acquainted with first, it was at Moscow Igormir Comic-Con Expo last year, when 4A Games brought the beta to Russia, was Taiga and a pioneer camp situated in there. While checking it, I came to realization that I was staring at the old marble monuments, little wooden houses and the skies of the dying day all day long. As I'm Russian, the locations I have gone through reminded me of the sweet places I've been in real life. While walking in Kaspi or driving a car I have taken from one of the Oilers, a faction of slavers living in this location, I've seen different settlements and hallways buried in the sands. The land site you mustn't miss is the cruiser torn apart in the beach near the sea. You will be able to enter it and even save some slaves captured in its depths. I have received tons of fun while recording these videos and taking screenshots. There were so many landscapes I keep coming back in my mind from time to time. Thankfully, the guys from 4A have added the photo mode, which includes a free cam and some filters for your screenshots. Still, the screenshots taken without one were very good too. Battle system. The shooting isn't the best aspect of the game. I have gotten much more pleasure from crafting some cool stuff at the workbench. As for the physics of shooting, I have nothing bad to say. But I couldn't feel the process of killing someone or something as in Wolfenstein 2 The New Colossus, for example. In there, killing was so realistic that it was easy to live through every action scene in the game. Also, I want to put an additional emphasis on the fact that you can either kill or take down your enemies in close quarter fightings. You will be amazed, but that will predict what kind of ending you will get. Wow, dudes. Wow. In most cases, I cared about not killing the enemies, but there were 2 locations I have been firing from all my guns and killing everyone. Yamato and the aforementioned Taiga. I have received my long-awaited arbalest in this location and wanted to perform some Splinter Cell style stealth actions. Craft. There are 2 resources in Exodus the crafting system is based on, and no money to refill them from NPC merchants. You will need to find some scrap and biomaterial. The latter can be gained from the radioactive mushrooms that gleam in the dark or other, less appealing sources. Playing on the medium difficulty, I have experienced some severe lack of crafting materials only in Caspi and the last location. Crafting can be performed at a workbench with full functionality, and a backpack, making some ammo, consumables, etc. like 8 kits, gas mask filters, take in mind that they don't last long, ammo of any type, throwing weapons. At a workbench, you will be able to customize your weapons and even change your armor. Change weapon modules or even the body, for example change a semi-auto body to a revolver or a shotgun, etc. Change your armor. I, for example, completed the game using the armor with the doubled maximum supply of the ammunition. Nota bene, you will need to clean your weapons as dirt will become the second skin for your guns. If you don't do it, the characteristics of your favorite rifle will decrease tremendously. Exodus. Let's tell the line now. Metro Exodus is a high-quality, mature creation from the guys from CIS. As I live here, it makes me even happier. I can tell you for sure that it is a game you won't regret spending an hour in. The Russia shown in here, hence demolished, is recreated with, as I said in the beginning, much love and respect to even the tiniest parts of the national code. The characters you interact with are very authentic. The Spartans feel just like your real friends you can go into hell with. The stories told in Exodus are very interesting. I recommend you to dive into it and check it for yourself. That's pretty much everything I wanted to say. That was Berserk 40k. See ya on the battlefields.